Good evening everyone and welcome back to our channel. I am Twinkle Quatra from IME Law College and currently a legal intern at Lexis and Company. And the topic that I am going to start today is the Sabrimala judgment, and I know you must be aware of this judgment as it was quite famous and important judgment. And today I will tell you some brief facts about the judgment so that you can recall the judgment. So the Sabrimala temple is situated in the Periyar Tiger Reserve in Kerala, and it is devoted to deity of Lord Ayappa, that and he was celibate, that is brahmachari, and every year 40 to 50 million people come to worship there. But in the case of S. Mahendram versus the secretary, the High Court of Kerala banned the entry of women from age group of 10 to 50, that is a menstruating age. But in 2006, this ban was challenged by Young Lawyers Association, and they filed a petition in Supreme Court and they challenged the constitutional validity of the ban and also the section Rule 3B of Kerala Hindu Places of Public Worship Rule 1965. And finally in 2018 the issue was put forward, and in the name of, or we can say in the case of, Indian Young Lawyers Association and others versus the state of Kerala and others. So now we will going to discuss the arguments of the petition. What were the arguments from the petition side? So they were of the opinion that it does not come under the category of separate religious denomination. The temple, they were of the opinion that the temple is not under any religious denomination, and also the essence of ritual or practices followed by any religious denomination are protected under Article 26. And further they said that this act violates the article of Constitution, and that articles were Article 14, that is equality before law, as discrimination on the basis of a specific age group of women is not reasonable discrimination. Article 15, as discrimination to enter the temple is based on sex. Article 25, as it prevents women from freedom of practice of religion. So these were the articles that were violated, and the petitioner was of the opinion that the ban should be uplifted. And now I will tell you the arguments of the respondent side. So they were of the opinion that a restriction only in respect of women of a particular age group and not women as a class is not a violation of Article 14, 15, 25 or 26. And restriction based on the religious custom which consider menstrual period as the occasion of rest and uncleanness of the body, and deity is an eternal celibate, that is brahmachari, and many devotees come to visit and follow the celibacy. So these were the arguments of petitioner and respondent. Now we will discuss what was the judgment. So the 5-judge constitution of bench comprised Justice Deepak Misra, Justice A.M. Khanvilkar, Justice R.F. Narim, Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, and Justice Indu Malhotra. These were the 5 judges that gave the judgment, and the judgment was passed by 4:1 majority, in which Indu Malhotra giving a dissenting judgment. All the judges want to uplift the ban, and they want that women should be entered in the temple, but Indu Malhotra was not of that opinion. She don't want that the ban should be uplifted, and all the 4 judges said that there is not a religious denomination within the meaning of Article 26 of the Constitution, rather it has been held to be a public temple. And there is nothing in Article 25 subsection 1 of the Constitution to permit the exclusion of the gender due to psychological factors, especially women. And further they said that every woman of every age group is allowed to enter the temple. Such as exclusionary custom undoubtedly violates the women's right to freely practice their religion as a Hindu, and it is impossible to call a practice which is discriminatory towards women as essential religious practice. Moreover, there is no evidence of scriptural or textual material to support the claim as why women should not enter the temple, or why there should be a ban on women. There is no textual or scriptural evidence, and court also observed that there is no continuity in the practice, so it cannot be claimed as an essential religious practice. So through this judgment we conclude that the fundamental rights that is given by the Constitution is for the balance, and in this case the issue was between equal treatment and non-discrimination versus religious right, and also of the that right of individual versus the right of group, and to fill the gap between the constitutional ideals and social reality. So that's it for this video, and I hope you liked it. And if you have any doubt, you can comment me down below. I will resolve it at the earliest. And keep liking, keep sharing, and subscribe to our channel.